Hello, everybody. I guess my camera is acting up. 1 second, please. Let me figure out what's going on here. Okay, should be fine. I should get video. Sorry for the. Yeah, okay. Video should be okay. Should be good now. Let me know if everything's good in your end. If you're getting uh, signal and audio and all this stuff. Welcome to a stream. My name is Jose. I am a Golden in Kendo. Today we're gonna do something a little bit different. Uh, I'm gonna be reviewing some Shinsa videos. So on Golden, maybe depending on time how we do, we're gonna maybe go up to Rokudan. But the cool thing that I think is cool that we're gonna do today is that I'm gonna try to look at the ones that passed. So last week there was a test in US, and Kendo Photography, the YouTube channel, posted the videos of the passing matches of the passing kendoka, and on top of that, somebody was kind enough in the Discord server to post who passed, so we can like kind of mix match there what the test, the video, so we can try to figure out who passed and try to figure out for ourselves what are the elements that are needed in order to pass these levels of testing. Okay, so if you have any questions, a good place to let them, to let me know. As I mentioned, we have a Discord server. The link is in the chat. I'm gonna pin it. I'm thinking soon I'm gonna close the what's it called? I might close the entry for the Discord server, make it by invitation only, just to avoid like scammers and all these people, like bots and stuff. But for now, I think everything is good. It's a great server. If you want to travel, you want to meet other Kendo people around the world, you want to talk about Kendo, it's a great place to do so. And if you want to send me a message, you want to send me a video or something like that, that's also a great place to contact me. So yeah, feel free to join the Discord server. If you haven't, please take a second, hit the like button so it gets pushed out. This video gets pushed out to more people out there, so we get more people in the chat. Let me, before I start with the videos, I kind of wanted to talk about, I guess, the week, the Kendo week. I posted a couple of videos and I kind of wanted to give a little bit of extra clarification or extra context on them. One of them that I feel that it was um, a very relevant topic is the point of win and then cut and what it means. What the camera froze again? What's going on? 1 second, guys. I don't know why lately the camera has been freezing. I don't know if the USB cable or what. Okay, should be fine now. Sorry for the technical difficulties. If this keeps happening, maybe I'll just change cameras and it will be better. But anyways, win and then cut is a very important element in Kendo, especially because um, we're training ourselves to fight as if we're fighting with sharp swords, right? So even though we use Shinai and uh, it's easy to think that we're on a stick fight, I guess. Um, the element of understanding that we're training as if we're having sharp swords is very important, especially to develop your kendo. And win and then cut, the biggest advantage of it is that you're trying to ensure that you will be safe as you're coming in versus just randomly coming in and getting stuck or like getting counter. You want to try to improve your chances of having a successful hit. And especially this week at the dojo, it was very interesting for me because a lot of the senses that I practice with, they're focused on this point specifically. Which, by the way, after this stream, I do the members only stream where I share my behind the scenes in the dojo and some of the specific advices that I've been getting there. So, and also it's a good way for you guys, if you want to send me a video for you to review and all this stuff. That's a place where I do it. So make sure to check out the perks of being a member, and it's a good way to support the channel as well. Anyways, um, in order to make sure that you have the advantage, or you have the upper hand, you have to be, even when you're going to counter, you have to be the person initiating the attack. So you want to be the one closing the distance. You want to be the one putting pressure on your opponent and not reacting to their pressure. The number one way to do it, obviously, is going to be with distance, by closing the distance that starts building up pressure. But what ends up happening a lot of times is people step in and then wait for a reaction. And that's where Tame comes in. So, uh, Tame is a very interesting concept, because even though we explain it as, it's a pause before your attack, um, it's yourself holding back before the attack, there shouldn't really be a holdback. That you should be trying to always go forward. And that's a very important and difficult aspect, I guess, to like start picking up, because it has to do with a lot of control when it comes to your footwork, how you use your upper body, being relaxed, and all this stuff. So it's very, very important to start practicing that concept of closing the distance and having control, but not stopping really, right? Of course, you want to have the ability to, if you need to change directions, if you need to do something different as you approach your opponent, you want to have that ability, but it's not about closing the distance and stopping. Right? It's a completely different feeling. So that's very important. That's something that I wanted to kind of touch on. If you have any questions about that, please let me know. Um, as some people start rolling in, let me start preparing the video for the Shinza. Okay. Um, there was another point I wanted to bring up based on the videos this week. One second, guys. Sorry, I think I wrote it down on my phone. Um, okay. So in Kendo, a lot of times the biggest comment, or one of the most common comments that I get in the channel is, how effective is Kendo for an actual fight, right? And or like, how effective is Kendo for self-defense? And the truth is that Kendo has a purpose, and it's a reason, it's a purpose for which it was made, right? And it is not a martial art that it's a focus on self-defense. A lot of times, what I would say is, if you're looking for self-defense, you want something that is specifically guided for that, right? Like, where you run scenarios, you practice specifically for safety and handling yourself in many different situations. Kendo is not that. We train ourselves to practice with the sword. Okay, the camera keeps going on and off. I don't know why, guys. Maybe it's the cable. One second, guys. This is so annoying. Let me switch this cable real quick. Okay, I think I did more damage than good by changing that cable, but hopefully now things are good. Let me make sure. Okay, I have audio. I look like I have video. Okay, guys, if you can confirm that everything is good on your side, that'll be awesome. Sorry, I don't know why lately it's been doing this. It's kind of annoying. Okay, but it seems to be good. Um, so yeah, Kendo is not made for self-defense, but Kendo, everyone can argue that there's elements in kendo that can be used for self-defense, like, awareness and all this stuff. But kendo, the purpose of it is to study ourselves through the sword, right? So it's a very interesting question. So if you have anything specific to add about it, let me know. But normally, a lot of times people ask, like, how effective will kendo be in a real life situation? And I think it just doesn't apply. It's like, how it's there's some elements that I think can be transferred, but it's not made for that. So yeah. Okay. So here is the video that I was talking about. As I mentioned, these are videos for the recent Shinza, and we're gonna watch some of the Godan tests. The specific points that I wanna bring up is the positive points. What are the good things that are happening that are helping these people pass the test? Um, First, I would recommend you always, especially when you're watching your own videos, don't focus on the negative aspects. Don't focus on the bad things that are you're watching. Instead, focus on the positive ones so you start replicating them. Okay. But if you have any questions about what's happening or anything like that, please let me know. Okay. So in this test, I believe it's 501 and A and B, and B is on the right. B passed and A passed as well. Okay, this is a very good. I think it's a very good exchange. So a lot of times when people are in testing, maybe the tension, maybe the pressure, or like the expectation you have of what the test should be gets on your way. So for example, like, oh, I should be straight, I shouldn't be jumpy. So you end up being stiff and late, right? So you have to try to find the balance between, that correctness and also being in the moment, being in there doing what you're supposed to do. So at the end of the day, you're supposed to fight. You don't want to be rushing in, you don't want to be constantly attacking, but you also don't want to just be there waiting, right? Where like the judges can see, like, oh, he's waiting. So you want to always kind of keep that in mind. Now, this is the thing, is a good exchange. I want to break it down a little bit slowly. And I think there's a couple of great things that are happening here on this exchange. One second, guys. Let me go back a little bit more. It's kind of slow, the loading here. Okay. So let me go back a little bit from here. So first, the engagement, you can see that both Kenshi were in good Kamae before the source cross, right? And as they approach together, they approach sharply, and then they're still trying to build up a little bit of that tension. When you start your command, when you start your distance from far, and then you come in here, you still have distance to play around with to create pressure. But if you immediately take your first step and you're here, then that's gone. Now you're more pressure into having to go. So that's, I think, is a very important point to keep in mind for testing. You want to make sure that you use your distance properly. Don't rush into your distance. Start slowly but sharply. And then use the distance to start building pressure instead of just doing one big step in. Also, when you do a one big step in, you lose balance and also the ability to react quicker. Okay. So then, as that first step came in, there's still a little bit of pressure going forward. So hold on, it's a little slow. Maybe I should just lower the. Hold on, let me just lower the playback speed real quick. Okay, so you see, uh, person on the left just kind of took another step in, kind of close the distance, but not so deep. Then that made the person on the right kind of react to it by stepping in forward as well. Now you see this little motion here. if you watch the body from both of them, right? The person on the left start kind of leaning in, pushing with the left hand, with the left leg, and also the person on the right starts putting that motion forward. I think in this situation, the person on the right started moving because of that motion that the person on the left started giving. So that being said, they both launch in. They're not holding back. Um, they didn't have a good point, a good scoring, but that interaction, that way that the both of them came in and how they build up that pressure and then just released it, I think it's a good showing for the judges. So watch it one more time. Okay. Maybe we should watch it in real speed so it looks a little bit more dynamic, I guess. So you see that back and forth of stepping in, stepping in, stepping in, that starts creating that pressure. You don't want to let that go. And the best thing to do in order to keep that going is being mindful of your back foot. Your back foot should be always engaged to go forward. And then if something happens, you can go. If there's an opening, you can go. But at the same time, you can also anchor that foot and start putting that pressure with the right foot and then go in for an attack. That makes sense? Hope it does. Let me know if you have any questions. Hold on, guys. Let me just make sure I keep an eye on my camera because, as we've been seeing, my camera has been really, really bad lately today. Just want to make sure that we have video. Anyways, it looks fine. Looks good. Okay. So in this one, I'm gonna say that maybe the Kenshi on the right now kind of rushed in to attack, but the Kenshi on the left was ready with a technique, right? The good thing about this is that the Kenshi on the left didn't just block, he countered, right? So he received the kote and then went around to hit that man. Very good exchange, I think. Very good awareness and not just staying there. Again, I think a really good exchange from both Kenshi at this point here. So you see, they're both with a forward mentality, and I think that helped them a lot into passing here. There was a nice man from the person on the right and good follow through. This is obviously not an issue because both of them passed, but you want to try to also not be so stiff after hitting. So for example, you see like they after they hit, they went back, kind of like pushing the hands out a little bit too stiff, right? Um, right now that's one of the things that I'm fighting against myself, being too stiff after the hit. But again, it's not a problem for testing, it's just thought. Okay, hold on, let me see who was the one that got that man first. Okay, I think we weren't good before. interesting. Okay, so let me go back here for a second. This exchange here, I think it's a good way to start kind of analyzing um, pressure, Tame, and also waiting, right? So the person on the left, he gave pressure and he feels engaged. His back legs feels engaged. And the person on the right is kind of just going, but from a little bit too far. Now, the timing, I think the timing for the person on the left could have been a little bit better. I feel that at some point his Tame kind of transitioned a little bit into waiting. Um, because I feel that if he would have gone like right here, he probably would have gone a little bit of a cleaner hit. Not an issue again, but definitely. And the reason why I say it's gonna be a little bit of a cleaner hit, because at this point you see he's moving the arms first. I think he has to do that, or has to have a little bit more compact way of throwing his feet, because um the the distance gets so close, right? So he has to adapt to it. So really good adaptation, but very good way of keeping the pressure forward and trying to, build up the timing. Oh, what's happening here? Okay, guys, I really don't know what's happening with the camera here. So let me change this real quick to this one. So yeah, so let me use this camera for a minute. Let me fix it, I guess here. Maybe. Hold on. Sorry, guys. I don't know why I'm having so many technical difficulties with this camera. It's so crazy. So maybe next week I'll start using another one. I don't know if it's the connection. I don't know if it's the cable. My apologies. I think maybe the camera kind of like losing grip on the plug down here. Yeah, I'm gonna turn it off for a minute and then I'll come back to it and see what happens. Maybe because the way how it's sitting is just not getting a good connection and the. Okay, so both players passed this test. Of course, this is their first match for both. Kind of want to watch the other ones as well.
That might be a little too close. Yeah, behind the cone will be fine.
So the person on the left, I believe, is C, and I don't see him in the passing list. So I'm going to assume that person on the left did not pass. Person on the right did. So let's see how. Now, what's interesting, this is something, guys, that I feel is very important to start figuring out in your Kendo, is that how is your attack happening, and how. Okay, everything that you tested on previous Shinsa, it's also being evaluated here. Okay, so that's very important to keep in mind. You don't want to just kind of take for granted some of the basics that you were evaluated on before. All of these elements are still being tested. Um, and on top of that, these new elements are being added. So if you watch here, something that's happening is that person on the right is the one taking the initiative, closing the distance with the body, throwing the upper body in, and then the person on the left is kind of reacting to it, but the way that he's throwing his leg, the way that he's throwing his body in and doing the Fumikomi in, like, it kind of it's holding him back, right? The back foot is kind of jumping in forward, and it's, you see, the shape is very different, right? And I think I mentioned this to a couple of people before on their test and some of the reviews that I got sent in, and once they have this, it kind of looks very stiff. It looks very slow, even if it's not. And on top of that, it looks uncomfortable. So it doesn't look like it's easy to do, right? So you want to try to figure out how to kind of fix that element on your own kendo, because you see it kind of doesn't allow him to have a good follow through after the strike. Look at the follow through between both Kenshi, right? So the person on the right has a smoother follow through, where the person on the left feels like he has to kind of like push him out of the exchange. I don't know if that makes sense. See, like the footwork looks a little stiff, where the other guy just kind of had a smoother transition. Even if he had a hit before, even if he had a cleaner hit, it kind of just takes away a lot from the. You see, he had a cleaner hit first, but it just looks forced. And you got to remember, for your test, although you want to, of course, you want to make contact and you want to um, get ippon, right? You're not being scored on how many times you score. And at this point, I always say that, for the earlier test, like Shodan, Nida, Sandan, even Yondan, right? You're kind of like evaluated in a positive way, where like, okay, oh, okay, he did this, you get points, get this, you get points, get this, you get points. Where for golden and above, I feel like, okay, you're expected to be at some level, and if you don't show it, you start kind of like being deducted points. Of course, it doesn't work like that. It's just, you know, like analogy, I guess, to put it. Really good, I think, way of trying to communicate with the sword from the Kenshin on the left. Really showing his awareness, really showing his pressure forward, his desire to go forward. And in that one, even though maybe he went a little bit too early on this exchange. You watch this one. He went a little bit too early because there wasn't really an opening. He's still going with aggression. He's still going, not with aggression, with forward intention, and his opponent looks like he's waiting, right? And on top of that, he's also trying to communicate, trying to take the center. So he felt maybe that his opponent was tense, and that's why he felt like he could have gone for that kote and take it. Um, but he's really showing that he's going forward, where his opponent is kind of now looking that he's just waiting for him. See, on this one, same thing. Kenshin on the left, he's keeping the center, he's showing good Kamae. Then he starts closing the distance in. Wait, it's kind of slow. It jumped forward. Sorry, guys. Okay. So you see, he's coming in. He starts doing a little bit of that push and then goes. And because of that, his opponent is attacking. It's not that his opponent is taking the initiative. So in essence, he's controlling the timing of the match. This one looked better for the Kenshin on the left. You see, now he started. He started by throwing his body forward, putting pressure forward, but his opponent replied with pressure. Look at the one on the right, right? He came in forward as well, and that made him kind of hesitate. And even though that he had the opportunity to get a cleaner hit, he still tense. Maybe he's still throwing himself a little bit off and cannot get a clear uh, path to the center. And guy on the right, he's able to get a much better even though he was a little bit later, he was still able to get the strike. Also has a better way of throwing himself forward. Very good way to control the center. Yeah, you see, in this case, the person on the right passed the test, and it shows a lot of control of the situation. So it was really good. I believe in this one too. Person on the right passed. You see, person on the right as well has a better engagement, better use of the body, so it looks smoother after a technique, after an attack. Okay, guys, if you're getting hit with Nuki-Do or Kaeshi-Do often, a lot of times because you're rushing in and not really creating pressure, right? So look what happens here. The person on the left starts closing the distance, their blocks closing the distance, but then the person on the right decides to kind of just throw himself out, and from kind of far, if you watch, when he decides to, okay, let me explain something really quick from here. This is a very cool detail to start kind of, 1 second, let me just make it to the beginning here. Okay, watch the guy on the right, watch his kamae. His feet are fairly close together, which is pretty cool, pretty good, right? And the shinai are about this, about crossing this in, right? Like they're about this deep in. So coming in for here to a technique is not impossible, but it can be difficult. And if you throw it from there without any kind of like anything happening before, it's really easy to get counter. Like Kaeshido, Nukido, Degote. Like there's a lot of things that can happen if you just simply throw your technique from this distance. And in essence, if you watch his back foot is staying in the same position. So he's trying to close the distance, but the amount of reach that he has to do with the left leg is still pretty far, right? So it can be very uncomfortable. It is possible again, but if you watch here, he's deciding to throw himself in as his opponent is already kind of in a blocking mood. Uh, as he does that, you see he's too far in, so his opponent has enough time to get that Kaeshido and hit that do on the way through. So you definitely want to try to, as you do your attack from that far, it's okay. It's pretty, it's actually recommended, right, to throw your attacks from here, but you want to create a reaction before you throw your technique, before you engage into that technique. In this case, he started closing the distance and maybe he got desperate. So he said, okay, I'm going to go because I'm already at this distance, right? So he threw himself in, but because he did that as the opponent was already kind of like in the cover mentality, he wasn't able to adapt and he was, he was hit with that though. I don't know if that makes sense. Please let me know. And yeah, we can talk a little bit more about it. Huey, how you doing? Thank you for passing by. And again, thank you for being a member to this channel. Okay. Guys, let me try one more time. Okay, is this time? No. Let's finish this fight and I'm gonna try the camera. Change the camera one more time. I don't know if I don't know if the person on the right is coming with the mentality that okay, I'm gonna do Kaeshido, and he wants to show it or not, because borderline's looking a little passive, right? So, but he's still having good intention forward, keeping the engagement on the back foot, so he's able to produce it. uh, frequently. Um, and also it helps. Maybe he's also understanding that his opponent is being a little bit too forward, like not really waiting so much, so he's able to kind of catch him um, often with that kind of shido. This is something you have to be careful. You want to be careful. You see, this could have been a little harmful for his test because he comes in kind of like in a blocking mood and then doing nothing, right? So you want to be careful with this type of interaction during your test. Um, Although, as we said, based on the list, he passed the test. But this is something that you want to be mindful of because it's better if you feel that maybe you lost the engagement, just try to control the Shinai instead of throwing yourself into a technique. So that can be dangerous. You have to be mindful of that. Okay, guys. While we change. Um, okay, so this was group 501A. Wait, so here, who's fighting here? Again, we're trying to look at the positive. Okay, no, this is 501D now on the right against 501A, I believe. So, oh, the previous one was the same, right? Yeah, 501D. So, guys, okay. So, 501D didn't pass. And again, maybe it was that this type of motions can be very dangerous for your test. So maybe, yeah, something to be mindful of. Sorry, I thought I read 501A. So that's why I said I thought he passed. But yeah, because I was gonna say like that. That's really harmful in your testing. So in this one, 501A is on the left. So the one on the left passed. Okay, bro, you don't have to be so rude. You don't want to see my face. I'm sorry. Like I'm dealing with some issues with the camera. By the way, if you want this, there's a channel called Kendo Photography. That's where these viewers are from. If you want to just go watch that. But I appreciate you letting me know that they can't see the camera. I mean, you couldn't see the video. Okay, let me see if I can stretch it out like this. Okay, the issue that we're gonna have here is that when they leave out of the center, okay, we're not gonna be able to, because I was already enlarging it, but let me see if I can. The video for some reason is kind of small here. Okay, I hope that here we can see it. Uh, okay, 1 second, guys. Yeah, I think that's as big as we can see it here. Without having too much trouble when they leave. Because I cannot, let me see if I can, no, I cannot monitor it here. Okay, let's try like this. Let's see how that goes. And hold on, let me see if I can actually put up the camera too as well. 1 second, guys. Guys, if you haven't, please take a second, hit the like button. Help the stream get pushed out. Okay, let's see if... Yeah, because this camera looks so close. Oh, sorry. Okay, 1 second, guys. I don't know what's happening here. Okay, maybe it's better now. Let's see. Okay, guys. Hopefully this will not get messy again. Here we go. Okay, guys. On the left, I believe we have 501A who passed the test. Always the first exchange in your test has a big impact on, on the perspective the judges are going to have. Even if you don't make yuko tatsutsu, if you don't make ippon, it's okay as long as you show a good engagement, right? So here they're trying to give pressure, trying to come in. The person on the left seems much more engaged forward, right? And as he start giving the pressure, start using the footwork to close the distance and goes in a very good timing. Now, the other person had a little bit of a better timing in order to get the strike. None of them, I don't believe they got a good clean hit, but it kind of shows that they're both willing to come in forward. Oh, took the number. Okay, let's watch that real quick. Again, also getting score on doesn't make you not pass as well. As a matter of fact, when you get score on, you should. One of the biggest points that I think everyone should train for their test is that if you miss, if you get score on, you don't lose your composure. You attack and you go through just as if you scored. Okay, that's very important. And here, um, maybe the person on the left right now, he is being with the mentality, I need to do Kaeshido for his test, and he's being kind of like prepping for it, or like, priming for it the whole time. And he had good timing on it, but it didn't look like he made it happen. He didn't put the pressure to make the person come for men. Does that make any sense? So he's kind of just waiting there to do it. And because the other person wants to come in, wants to go forward and attack, he did it and he gave him the man. So that's something that you gotta also be mindful in your test. You don't want to just be there waiting for one specific technique. Okay, let's go forward a little bit after the... you see, that's another thing that you want to be mindful of. You see, there's some attacks not reaching can be very harmful. watch this Kashido for a second. So you see in this one, you see a little bit more emotion. Still, he's uncomfortable. The guy on the left, he's still uncomfortable, but he is trying to come in and close in the distance instead of just waiting there to do Kashido. It looks slightly different, right? But it's a big point where you want to close the distance. You want to make it a threat to the opponent rather than just waiting for them to close the distance. It looks different. Yeah, overall, I think that one of the biggest aspects that both Kenshi that passed had was that they both, oh, sorry, 502 group, nobody passed. I'm gonna go to 503. Yeah, yeah, 502, nobody passed. Uh, Omer, can you say good night to me? It's 4:40 p.m. Ah, good night, Omer. How you doing? Thank you very much for passing by. Appreciate it. Um, so okay, 502 group didn't pass. I'm gonna go to the 503 group. Um, in the 503, only 503B passed, which I believe should be on the right now. And I think this latest group, yeah, okay, 503B. So, guys, something very important. Omer, right here, it's almost 11 a.m. So you should be what, in Europe, maybe? Uh, no, PM, maybe California. I don't know. My time zone scheduling is not doing good. I'm in Japan, by the way. Okay, so a big point and a big aspect of the test that sometimes maybe we take for granted is the walking in into your, doing your sonkyo. This is very important. Oh, camera on your end is not working. Thank you for letting me know. Again, I'm having troubles with this camera today for some reason. I don't know why. So I'll just keep resetting it because that other camera too, it looks horrible and it's just like all up in my face. Let's see. It should be better now. Now it's following me. How funny. Okay. There, maybe. Okay, should be good now. Thank you. Thanks for letting me know. Appreciate it. Again, guys, after this stream, I'm going to do my members only stream. And this week, I'm going to share some of the great Seme tips that I got this week from some senseis that were really good. So if you would like to check that out, make sure you check out the membership of the channel, become a member, and check out the perks because you get some extra perks too for being a member. Um, just quick refresher, these videos are from Kendo Photography. They're from a recent Shinsa. Oh, camera went off again. Recent Shinsa that happened, I believe, like 2 weeks ago. And thankfully, somebody in the Discord server posted the list of the people that passed. So that's how we're matching up who passed, and uh, so we can watch their video. Okay. Anyways, moving on. Ladies group, it's always interesting seeing the ladies group as well. Somebody in a comment asked this week, like advantage of disadvantages, female against male, and I think that everyone can have advantages over other people, so it's always a good topic for me to get into. So if you have any questions about that, please let me know. Um, I wanted to mention here. Okay, so we said that the person on the right passed. Uh, did the camera freeze again? Yeah, the camera froze again. What is going on here, dude? I have no idea. Maybe I need some type of update on the software. Okay, let's do this last Okay, we're gonna do this last group of people, or like this match, so that way I can check that, fix it for later. Okay. Anyway, so in here, the person on the left is kind of moving the sword first and um, leaning forward as she attacked. Right? If you watch, they're both close in the distance, but person on the right is kind of showing a little bit of better Kamae. The person on the right throws in that kote, um, and the person on the left throws his body in. So even though the person on the left got the kote, made contact with the kote, it kind of looks held back. It didn't look fluid like the person on the right did. So posture, I think, is a very good point to keep in mind, especially for a high level grading. That's really good. That's really good exchange right here. So as the person that passed on the left, maybe she didn't have time to push in to get to create pressure, and his opponent just randomly came in. And instead of blocking, instead of just moving around and just being lazy about it, she did Nidan Wasa, so that showed her readiness. And on top of that, was able to get a hit on the man after that. So it's very important that you learn to manage your weight in these matches without losing your composure. See, she hit for the man. Okay, she got hit on the door, but she still had good follow through. Here, there was a very good. Okay, camera got it. Let me reset it while we go back. So pay more attention to the video while I reset the camera, anyways. So in here, if you watch what's happening here, person on the right is closing the distance, trying to come in. I tried to do it. I'm trying to move it slowly. Hold on, guys. So you see, it's closing the distance. It's not only closing the distance, but also going around and trying to close the distance and take the center at the same time, not losing the engagement forward. So the person on the left kind of desperately goes in for a kote, and it's kind of, you see, kind of hard to get her with the distance she threw it. And instead, person on the right kept her composure, waited for the right opportunity, and then threw herself forward with a very clean man in. Good follow through and showed very good engagement. These are excellent points to keep in mind for your testing. Okay, and I believe the next person is going to be the same person. Yeah. So again, person on the right is the one that passed. Very good show of engagement as well. Getting up and immediately going forward. Very good show as well. If you watch this here, she's not, her reaction is not to go backwards. You see, she's going forward. So you see, like, he's using her foot. Wait, again, my camera again. So you see, she's not holding back. She's not going backwards. She's going forward. She got hit by the kote. It's okay, but she didn't lose her composure, and she kept going in for that man. Very good. She lost the same, like she lost the first attack the same way as the first one, but again, she kept her composure. She kept going forward, and good posture. This right here, it's also very important. She missed the kote, but she still kept the forward intention. She got hit in an awkward way, but immediately after she gets hit here, she gets back into it and she's immediately engaged forward. Very important, guys. Very important. That that was a little bit difficult choice of technique there. Maybe in this one she's getting a little bit nervous, so she's attacking too much. But that's that kind of, maybe she's nervous. It has to be a little nerve-wracking. Her partner's a little bit physical, I guess, too, so it didn't help her. But something that maybe the judges saw and help her possibly, right, to pass her test, was that from here, wait, a little bit back, from here, she's the one seeing to start closing distance. If you watch, you see she immediately starts stepping forward, and that causes her opponent to have to move. Like watch what happens after she takes that first step forward. Okay, if it loads, sorry guys. So her opponent, like she steps in and her opponent is a little bit uneasy. And then she's able to come in to close the distance. You see, she closed the distance. She brings her back foot quick too. She's showing her stability and she starts pushing in forward with the left leg, keeping the body going forward, throws that man in. Very nice posture. And yeah, her opponent is being physical, pushing back. She loses balance and falls. That's okay. That happens. She was able to get that hit, so that helped her a lot. So you see, on the right, she's being more aggressive. She's the one closing the distance, so that's very important, guys. You want to be the aggressor, even in this one, right? She's the one closing the distance. That was good exchange from her opponent, though. Reply the pressure. Right? You see, like she's coming in, and her opponent replied the pressure, and then she was forced to come in to attack. Maybe she was nervous into attacking, but even though she attacked and she got hit, her posture didn't suffer, her follow through didn't suffer. She goes around and immediately engages into Kamae. But I feel that at some point she started losing, maybe not her patience, but maybe she started getting nervous, and that's kind of caused her to start attacking a little bit differently than before. But again, her fundamentals stayed intact. She didn't lose her composure. She always kept going forward. And those are very important points to keep in mind. Let me fix this real quick. Those are very important points to keep in mind, especially during your test. You don't want to kind of start hesitating, going back, or just moving awkwardly. Okay, so now the camera again is messing up. Sorry, guys, 1 second. Okay. So you don't want to start moving awkwardly just because you don't feel like you had a good point or because you missed. You want to have good follow through and you want to finish your technique always. So these are things that you want to kind of fix in your kendo, especially for your testing. Guys, I'm sorry, it was a little uncomfortable today with the whole camera situation. I am very sorry. I'm gonna see if it's because I need an update on the camera. If not, maybe I'll start using another camera during the streams. But thank you very much for sticking with it. If you haven't, please hit the like button. It really helps the stream to get pushed out to more people. And right after this one, I'm gonna check on the camera real quick. And right after this one, I'm gonna go to do my members only stream. So please, if you're interested in learning some of the tips that I'm getting here in Japan, if you want me to review your videos, or if you want to learn about some of the tips and advices of my training for preparation for Rokutan as well, that's a great place to do that. Okay. Don't forget to check in the chat. The Discord server is completely free to come in, and you get to meet new Kendo people and talk about Kendo. So thank you guys for being here. I'm gonna cut it off, trying to fix up this camera situation. But I appreciate you guys being here, and I'll catch you guys next week. Okay, same time, around 9:30, 9:45 Japan time, because I had some issues today, so I came a little bit later. But anyways, guys, thank you very much.